The following is a brief, realistic account of what you can expect should you desire to make being a cover musician your number one priority in life. Look, I'll get straight to the point. Being a no-name professional musician at the grassroots level is not full of groupies and amazing gigs. It will test your mental fortitude in many ways. First hurdle to overcome is nerves. Unless you are completely full of yourself, plenty of them around, you are going to be concerned about what people are going to think of you once you're in front of a microphone and an audience. For me, this was probably the biggest hurdle, and to some degree it still exists every time I perform. Much less so now, but it is a thing. I'm not going to go through the do's and the don'ts of live gigging. You can go to the advice playlist on my channel to learn more about that, but I just wanted to mention the nerves as it's one of the biggest things to overcome to becoming a true professional. It will take time, a lot of time. The reason being is that every gig is different, and I can go from feeling like a real success to wondering why your hard work is being met by complete disinterest. Once you accept this, and that's how it is, no matter how well you smash the last gig, you'll be better off. You can work really hard to master your repertoire, and I implore you to do this, but most of the time, people just don't notice. It's just the way it is, over and over and over again. There will, however, be a smaller percentage of gigs that make it all worthwhile, and you can feel like a rock star for a brief moment, until the next crowd who have never heard of you, and then it's rinse and repeat. In this day and age, being good is not enough in order to avoid having to start over every gig. You need to have some kind of celebrity attached to your name. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean world famous. You could have a level of celebrity with your own city or town. That's going to help. What I've learned from 25 years of playing is that if people recognize you in some way, you immediately have more respect from them than if they'd never seen you. This is sad, but it's true, right? If you have no celebrity attached to you, you'll need to try and win over every crowd, every time, as if it were your first ever gig. This can be really hard if you're not necessarily the focal point of the event too, right? There's a fine line between being entertaining and being background entertainment. People aren't there just to see you. You just happen to be booked there on the day for the event. And therefore you have to perform appropriately. You can't get in their face. You've got to be background. You'll be faced with people sitting with their backs to you, talking over you, telling you to turn down, completely ignoring you as you see in my videos, not applauding, getting pissed off at you for not knowing a song. And my favourite, that look of astonishment when you don't know their favourite song, as if you were a bloody jukebox. But this is the reality of working in the small pub circuit. You're going to need to develop a tough skin. You'll be humiliated, abused, ignored, laughed at. You'll also be cheered, thanked profusely, applauded, and tipped. When we watch a celebrity perform, we see a sea of admiring followers clapping and cheering their every move and word. It seems like that's all you have to do. Just nail a song. People will be amazed because everyone loves music, right? You practice for days, weeks even, to master a song. You get chills when you get to that point where you don't have to think about the chords or the solo or the lyrics. You're a fine-tuned machine. Wait until people hear this, you're thinking. Then you unload that masterpiece on your next audience, only to be met with complete silence or a couple of lackluster claps. This is the reality of your gigging life. I can guarantee you that if you don't have a bunch of friends supporting you and you are alone at your third gig for the week, unless those people in the audience recognize you, you're going to have to win this crowd over with more than just your skill, vocally or an impressive finger tapping solo or something. You're going to have to win them over with your personality. Because you are starting from 0 and Ed Sheeran is starting at 100. All right? What you're going to have to do is relate to the specific audience in front of you. unless you happen to get a gig at a great venue full of people who are already in a great mood, this can be difficult. You will need to make some kind of connection with someone in the audience, usually the person or the table showing you the most attention. Right? And believe me, you're going to have to look for it. Someone tapping their feet, mouthing the lyrics, or even sitting somewhat facing you. While you're performing, look at the audience. Find that person, try to connect with something they're doing. If they're drinking, crack a joke about drinking alcohol. What are you drinking? Oh, bourbon? Oh, yeah, I only drink bourbon on 2 occasions, when I'm in love and when I'm not. Yeah, there's a good chance that they're either going to be eating or drinking, all right? So you can break the ice by saying, oh, that looks good, what are you eating? And they'll tell you what they're eating. Oh, great, yeah, I had beef stew with dumplings. Yeah, she's a big girl, but I shouldn't call her that. You know, sometimes you won't always get a laugh. Depends on your delivery and if anyone's actually listening. That actually happens a lot. You know, you may even feel slightly embarrassed, but you need to break the ice somehow, right? I'll often say, any requests? If someone answers with a song you do, you seem like a genius, right? If they answer with a song that you don't, I have 20 little clever jokes that bring the attention back to whatever song you plan to do. But what I'm trying to convey here is that if you interact with the audience, you can build a rapport with them. And it's amazing how this rapport can spread to other tables and individuals in the audience. And pretty soon they feel like you're a friend. And once this happens, a vibe is created and it's off to the races. But look, don't get disheartened if this doesn't happen. It will often not happen. You will sometimes feel like a fool for even trying, but that's not on you, right? You're trying. Most of the time, there aren't enough people to get a vibe going, or there's people that just want to be left alone. Remember, they also have some shit going on in their lives. They may not want to be entertained right now. They just want to have a quiet drink and a conversation with whoever they're with. You know, perhaps a very important conversation in their lives. And the last thing they need is some muso starving for attention. So keep that in mind. It's life out there. So I guess what I've learned is that you need to remain professional no matter what in order to keep working, keep getting the gigs, don't get a bad name, keep your emotions in check. Take the good with the bad and realise that you are not the centre of attention every time, even though you are the entertainment, unless that vibe presents itself. If you get a vibe in the room and you can sense people want to have a good time, just go for it if it feels right. Just remember that every room is different and you need to learn how to read it, react accordingly, realise that not every gig is going to be great and not every gig is going to be bad. You've got to roll with the punches. You've got to roll with the punches. Right, so in conclusion, and thank you if you've made it this far. By the way, 95% of you are not subscribed, so do me a favour, will you? Anyway, I will say that I don't intend to dissuade anyone from doing this for a living. I just wanted to give you an overview of what you can expect in the world of a silent or no-name cover musician, and a few pointers along the way. In retrospect, I'm happy that I chose this for a living. I work 2 to 3 days a week, get the majority of the working week off. I never have to wake up early or get to an office or a work site by 8 a.m, to work for someone else. To me, I'm a success, and I get to do what I enjoy and make a living doing it. I don't have a boss, and I comfortably pay my expenses. Filling these positions of live music that are offered in pubs and restaurants and small events is a way to be your own boss. Right? The freedom that offers is incredibly valuable to your life. There's a living to be made from this no matter where you are. Music is universal. It likely won't be like the movies, but it's a living. Anyway, I wish you well, and remember, on those down days, you are not alone. We all go through it regularly. And when Monday comes around, it's another small holiday. Take care.